All right, hello everybody. Wanted to make a quick update video over Bitcoin to see where we're at in that roadmap that we had been talking about, okay? We had some other plans and they got kind of broken, the counts got invalidated, and that kind of stuff's gonna happen, and you have to adapt and change quickly. This is something that looks okay due to the wave 2 to wave 4 in time. Gets us just past that 1-to-1 is what we typically like to see between them. But really quick, let's just check in here. So you can see we have a wave 1 into 2, wave 1 into 2, wave 1 into 2, wave 1 into 2, right? So you kind of have some quadruple 1-2 stacking here. And that's how you end up with the quadruple 3-4 stacking here, right? So this is our last wave 4 before the final push in wave 5. Currently, that's estimated around $128,000 on, I believe we're on log scale currently, yes. So that's still a pretty good run from there. In this current wave 4, we're seeing it as a WXY with an ABC in the Y leg. And one thing that we should also note is that we have a hidden bull divergence, right? So this is the low of the RSI during that possible wave 4. And this is the low of the RSI during that same degrees possible wave 2. We can see that we have hidden bull divergence there. That's something we typically look for when we're counting here in Elliott Waves. So that's really beautiful. I haven't checked this yet, but let's go ahead and do it. A base channel is something we also like to be kind of aware of from wave 1 to 2, right? So we go from 0 to 2 to 1, and we just see how we're reacting with that. So we had so far decent reactions at the top of it, also when we left it, and now that we're coming back into it. So let's zoom in and see what we might have going on here. Okay, a lot of channels coming in confluence, but that's a good thing, okay? So you have your bull control zone on your RSI here on the 4-hour. Bitcoin is still beneath that, and it's still beneath its 50 EMA on the 4-hour. So it's still beneath its 4-hour bull control zone, okay? So we would like to see Bitcoin break that 88,600 level, get back above the 50 level of the RSI on the 4-hour, and give us some more convictions that this thing's going to go, okay? It came pretty much right into target here and reversed. One other thing that we should be really paying attention to is that on the RSI, you can note that you have lower lows on price action. If you look up there where my arrow's at, on price action just above us vertically, right? Every time that price action made a lower closure, RSI made a higher closure. Lower closure again, higher closure again. So triple bull, regular divergence here. The other thing we like is that here at the end, you can see that correction ends on high volume, right? That's something to typically look for in a correction, especially if this Y leg ends in a C. We would expect to see it end on high volume, okay? So let's zoom in another time frame and see what we might have going on here on the hourly. And then after that, we'll kind of wrap this up. Sorry for the really lengthy video, but I thought getting something out on a weekend could be important. So you could have potentially seen a 5-wave move up here with your wave 3 exceeding the 1.618, making a shallow correction and resetting the RSI really well. And then a final push here in the wave 5, right, to the 2.618, taken from 0 to 1 to 2. Due to the size of the wave 2, I want to say this is a wave 4 and not that all of this is still going in wave 3, but we'll see, right? So I would say the bulls really don't want to see us lose the 7.86% retracement, and that is because that is the probability shift point, right? So on this possible 5-wave structure, we start losing that 80K again. You know, you got to talk about the low might not be in, okay? So we'll find out soon whether this 5-wave move up is an A wave or a wave 1, right? So we don't know yet. This could still be a wave 1. We wait for wave 2. Maybe that fills the internal fair value gap that we can see here on the hourly. And then we'll get a 3, 4, and 5, right? We can LARP really quick and see where that price action might go to and just take a quick little stab at it. Let's connect our extensions here from 0 to the top of a 5 to the low of a possible 2, right? Let's say it goes to 0.5. Just kind of starts to dance with the golden pocket fibs, and then we get a pump after, okay? If it is to give that wave 3 reaction, you're going to be talking about that next wave coming to the top of this channel. And that's around almost 97,000, okay? And then a shallow pullback or consolidation, something kind of like what you see here in your wave 2, I'm guessing. It will alternate in form, but should take around a 1-to-1 in time. And then we'll get that wave 5 up to 103 to 107. That will be the 5-wave structure, right? Now, this could easily get extended, and this is how you end up topping for this cycle, right? You could end up having a 3 that goes to 107, a 4 that pulls back shallow, and then a FOMO-y 5th, right? That pushes this thing up into that 128,000 that we talked about on the macro. So that would be something to look for, right? If this got extended off the lows. But what I would be paying attention to most here is you really want to see a 3-wave pullback after a 5-wave move up with a minimum time taken from the low or 0 point, I'll go back and fix that, to the high of the 5, okay? So let's place this here. We're just past the 382 in time, you can see now, so technically it has done minimum time in correction. So if it does take the highs now, assume that the low is in and that things could get moving, and we'll just do a recount at that point. And every time it moves up, the best thing you can do is take those retracement fibs and continue to move those up and continue to move up your invalidation points and manage the risk that you might have on the table. All right, so the last thing I really want to look at here will be the Bitcoin CME chart. And I think it's important that we pay attention here on it on a macro of the area of interest that it came into, right? The CME gap that we have been discussing in many videos before this. We'll go to a 3-day. And we can also see that we have hidden bull divergence, right? Between the wave 2 and the wave 4 here. And we filled what was the CME gap really beautifully, right? So if we zoom in on the daily, you can see we came right in the CME gap and wicked out of it. We've had no acceptance in that gap. That's a bullish thing, right? So let's stay focused on the top is not in yet, and that bullish reversals might be starting, but we're going to continue to watch them and see how they go. So thank you all for your time. Thank you for coming today. Enjoy your weekend. See you out there.